Hello and welcome to the Penno Channel. We're back with all the latest Aston Villa transfer news. Let's start. Nicholas Jackson to Aston Villa. Is there a chance? Bro, your thoughts after reports that Villa and Unai Emery are interested in the player?
Yeah, I just want to say I rate Nicholas Jackson as a player. Like, I really don't think he's as bad as everyone makes out, and he does get a bit of a bad rep for all the chances he misses. We know Jackson knows the system already. He played some of his best football for Unai Emery, and we were close to signing him in January 2023. The only reason that deal fell through, according to Jackson, was because of an injury that he picked up. So he was at Bodymore, according to him, looking around. So yeah, the only surprise for me is the fact that he's so similar to Gesson, who we've already signed. I think we have a lot of those profiles where they're like number 10 slash strikers kind of thing, where I'm waiting for us to probably look for wingers as well, more so than another 10. But we'll see, man. Emery really likes the player. And yeah, there's a lot of interest from other clubs as well.
Yeah, he was signed by Chelsea from Villarreal in 2023. The last two seasons, he's produced decent numbers. He got 19 GA in his first season in the Premier League and then 15 GA last season, scoring 10 goals and getting 5 assists. He was kind of ostracised towards the end of last season and he had disciplinary issues as well. Had a few injuries in that time as well. So his numbers are decent, to be fair. He's 24 years old. Unai Emery knows him well. And he did an interview recently where they asked him, who taught you the most about football? And he said, Unai Emery. I learned everything about playing when I went to Villarreal. Before that, I could play football, but I didn't understand positioning and where to be on the pitch. But Unai Emery taught me anything. And we know how well Unai Emery works with strikers as well. So in terms of the deal, what do you see? A loan with an option to buy, an obligation to buy? I don't think we have the funds. What are your thoughts on that?
Yeah, we definitely don't have the funds for what Chelsea are asking for, which is like, what, 60 million? This is why I think if we don't agree on the loan fee, I could see like maybe him going to like a Newcastle or Bayern Munich, who are also there as well, if they've got better opportunities to put a better deal on. But I think I've read something as well, like Bayern are only looking at loans as well, so it might only be Newcastle that are trying to sign him permanently. But yeah, I think what we do is probably a loan with obligation next season, like barring any like serious injury, that I could see Emery like wanting him long term. And could he be like a long term Watkins replacement? I mean, he's got like 5 years on him. We know Jackson's best position is as a striker. What would that mean for the long term future of Watkins as well? It's interesting. But yeah, an attack, what would it be? Watkins, Gasson, Marlon, Jackson, Buendia, who else am I missing? Illing Jr. at the moment, and then maybe add into that as well with another winger. Let's see, man.
A lot of options. A potential other part of the deal that could happen. We know Chelsea's interest in Morgan Rogers. It's been there since, the January window. Is there a chance of a swap deal including Morgan Rogers or Villa giving Chelsea, say, you have first option coming to the January window? And before we get more into that, if you could like the stream, if you're new here, please do subscribe as well for all things Aston Villa. And also leave your comments in the comment section after the video. We want to hear your thoughts on this transfer news we're providing. But yeah, back to it, bro. Morgan Rogers to Chelsea. We heard last night that Spurs had an interest, have an interest in Morgan Rogers after they've missed out on Eberechi Eze. He's become their number one target. Villa immediately shut that down. Damien Vidagami talking about sources and articles and whether you should trust them or not, and if they trust his sources, just after that news came out about Spurs' interest in Morgan Rogers. But could you see a Chelsea or a Spurs coming in for Morgan Rogers towards the end of this window?
Well, I hope not. I hope not, man. Like, surely it's too late for Villa to like move on Morgan Rogers at a time like this. And I always think clubs will be interested in Morgan Rogers. Like, he's just won the PFA Young Player of the Year award. He's such a good talent. Everyone knows how good he is. So it doesn't surprise me. I think clubs are always watching Morgan Rogers. It wouldn't surprise me if Spurs did like seek to see if a deal could be done after losing out on Eze. They still need that profile after Maddison got injured. Like that doesn't surprise me, but it doesn't mean anything until Spurs put in an actual bid. That it doesn't mean anything. Like they can have interest all they want. So yeah, I'm pretty content with even seeing that news. As for Chelsea, one thing about Chelsea, it seems like they always manage to like get their way in like their deals long term. And we have heard before, like if Villa go for Jackson, then journalists will be surprised that Chelsea wouldn't then go for Rodgers after, whether that's this year or next season. I'm not sure, man. Like, don't even bear thinking about thinking about really. I can't lie. But we'll see, man. But I can't see us selling Morgan Rogers in this window. Like he recently did an interview as well, saying he's happy at Villa for this season. He also said something interesting as well, saying everyone writes off the squad when you don't sign players, but we trust in like this squad, and I wouldn't get too bogged down on us not signing that many players. So seems like he's pretty content at Villa, even though we keep selling his best friends.
Facts. The one thing I take from it is though Chelsea and Villa's relationship seems good. Obviously, last season with the PSR issues, we had a good relationship. We both inflated the prices of two players and got that deal done as well. So it seems like the relationship between Chelsea and Villa is relatively decent. So if Villa do have the interest that's being touted about Nicholas Jackson and obviously Unai Emery managed him previously at Villarreal, then it seems like Villa may give Chelsea something going forward in terms of a Morgan Rogers deal down the line. I hope it's not right now, and I hope it is right down the line. And I don't want that to happen, but we know how football clubs work. And if you can scratch one's back, they'll scratch your back later down the line. So, yeah, it'll be interesting to see the developments on that and if anything does happen. Moving on, bro. Jacob Ramsey's left to go to Newcastle. Leon Bailey, he's got injured, but he went to Roma out on loan with an option to buy as well. So it means in attacking areas, there's potentially some incomings that still need to come in. Now, we spoke about Nicholas Jackson, but another player that was rumoured was Leandro Trossard, the Arsenal striker / left winger as well. Arsenal are looking to bring in Erebet Eze. They've also brought in Noni Madueke as well. So they're becoming quite... they have a lot of attacking options now within their squad, and maybe Leandro Trossard is a player that could potentially be looking to move. Now, there has been a number of links. There's also talks of potentially Leandro Trossard getting a new contract, a new deal, which only included a wage increase as well. But with the signing of Erebet Eze, and I know it's because of Kai Havertz getting injured, but is there a chance of Leandro Trossard potentially leaving Arsenal and Villa being interested as well?
Yeah, that was mad. I don't think I've ever seen that in football where you extend the contract, but like not by years, just by a pay increase. Like I don't know if you'd seen that before. Like I feel
No,
like
never.
I'm bugging out, or like that was completely like a new thing. So yeah, I think Trossard will stay at Arsenal now. But what did you think of like rumours to Villa? Anyways, like his type of profile, what he'd bring to Villa.
I just think in terms of style, for myself personally, it's not what we need. Trossard's a good player. I like Trossard. He's a very good player. But in terms of salary, age, he's 30 years old now. I mean, he'd be looking for his last big payday if he was to leave. And the resale value of him, there would be none because it would be, 33-year deal minimum, 33 years old. So, yeah, I just don't think he's the player we should be looking at as a club, and with the restraints we have and the restrictions and how much we've got to look around PSR, SCR, FFP in general. We have to run a really tight shoestring budget. With a Nicholas Jackson, he's 24 years old. If we do have an obligation to buy going forward, there's still going to be some resale value. And I think he's a great player as well. And I think he's more adaptable than Trossard. I know Trossard can play after left or as a 9 as well. But I think Nicholas Jackson, he can play 9, 10, left. There's so many different things you can do. And plus, Unai Emery knows him really well as well. So, yeah, I don't think I'd be inclined to see Leandro Trossard come to Villa. I don't know what your thoughts are.
Yeah, he's similar to that profile where he's not really like kind of running behind with like blistering pace. He's more like a close control guy, links up centrally. And then he knows where the back of the net is, I feel like, as well. Seen a couple of games last season against Ipswich away where he was really good at, I don't know, like timing his runs into the box and just finishing. But in terms of what we need, I just can't really see that as well. Like I keep saying, I think we need like pace on the right hand side, bro. Like I think that's the biggest need now for Villa.
Yeah, we'll see if anything develops, but I don't see Leandro Trossard being an Aston Villa player before the end of the window. Finally, bro, every transfer window, Villa get linked to a right back. It seems like Villa sign a right back with Costa Nedeljkovic, Andre Garcia. And we've been linked to right backs once more this summer window. The latest being Hector Fort from Barcelona, the 19-year-old right back. I think he's surplus to requirements at Barcelona now. He'll be looking for a new club before the end of the window, and I think he will go out on loan. Villa have been linked to the right back, but again, is that in a similar profile to Costa Nedeljkovic, Andres Garcia in terms of young in age, would he be able to challenge Matty Cash, who was linked to Nottingham Forest, but Nottingham Forest again are linked to a number of right backs. So it'd
I
be
mean,
interested
bro,
to see if anything comes from that.
Forest, there's links that like Nuno's getting a sack at Forest
I
today,
know it's all going
and
off.
and coming in and that. Like that's proper tier one journals as well saying that.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
who knows what Forest are thinking now
We know
after this?
Ange and Marinakis have got a good relationship as well. So
Listen,
I could see that happening.
I'm sick of the sight of Nottingham Forest to be honest. But after that Douglas Luiz video dropped last night, bro, do you know, bro, we didn't even really like talk about that fishing thing as well when he's at
I
Villa. They're
know.
like straight off the bat with it, like.
They've gone straight in
But
there.
yeah, who
Hector
knows
Fort.
anymore about who knows anymore? To be honest, like I really don't understand. You can't predict when a young player comes in now if they'll be a star or if they'll get sent. Like you can't. Ozcan, I was so sure that Ozcan would only go on loan, straight loan, no option to buy any. There's an option in his deal, so who knows, bro? But Hector Fort, he looks like a really good, technically sound player. He's got experience playing for Barcelona. I'm all for it. If he comes into the squad, like I'm all for it. But Garcia was back in training as well. There were some rumours that Seville tried to send him out on loan, tried to sign him on loan, sorry. And what the Spanish journal said was Villa have maximised their quota for outgoing loans abroad. So I don't think it was we didn't want to sanction it. I think it was like we weren't allowed to. That's what
Yeah.
they were reporting. So who knows, man? Maybe Garcia might stick about.
Yeah, potentially if that is the case. Talking about fullbacks, Spanish leaving the club. Seems like Alex Moreno now will be going and leaving to Girona. No fee included, but I think that's a permanent deal. Signed Emery's first signing when he joined that window. Left back, I think he was integral in us getting Conference League. I thought he was really good for those 6 months. But from that point, just hasn't been the same. The injury was a big thing, I think. He lost that yard of pace. Had a loan at Nottingham Forest, started for them and then was just phased out. Hardly got a game there and he's come back to Villa this summer and yeah, I think he'll be moved on. 30 million euros, I think we paid for him. To not receive a fee is tough, but again, his wages are needed off the wage book, and I think that's what Villa have done.
Yeah, Alex Moreno, who just was never the same after that hamstring injury at Liverpool away. I remember watching the game with you and I turned to you and I was just like, this looks bad. Like, this genuinely looks bad because he was playing so good before that injury. Like, I'll never forget his link-up play with Ramsey against Newcastle at home in the 3-0 win. Like, he was so good that day. And what I do think this speaks to on a wider point is maybe Villa shouldn't be signing players over 28 unless they're like elite. I remember reading like Liverpool had this policy as well. And the reason I say it is if they get an injury, at least if they're younger, they still have time. They still have a lot of their career left, and then there's still that resale value there. Whereas Moreno gets injured, he's sent on loan. He's already what now, 32? Like I'm not surprised there's not many suitors coming in. Like the market's changed. Clubs aren't really looking to spend big on
Yeah.
30 players. Like the market's like so focused on younger players now. So I think for future that should be our strategy. Because also as well, I think we paid £13 million for Moreno. With how like precarious our financial situation is, we can't be like letting a transfer fee go down to zero. Like I know that we've got the wages off the book, but that's going to be such a big PSR hit for the next season.
Yeah, and you think in line with Diego Carlos, we got rid of him for was it £10 million or 10 million euros actually? Big injury. I know he did regain some form when he came back, but again, that's a loss from the 31 million euros he spent. Philip Coutinho, 20 million euros, nothing back on that. Contract terminated, signed at 30. Looking now, if we're going to be looking at a Trossard or an Asensio, 30 years of age, if you're signing those permanently, what's the resale value going to be on those? And that's not even talking about injuries.
Then Dunker as
Yeah,
well. He was 20. He's a bit younger to be fair, but he was
yeah, he was
27 as well.
27. So
But you just lowered that resale window. I think he's another one
yeah,
that went zero after 30 million. So if you think him, Carlos, sorry, not Carlos. You think Coutinho 17, then Dunker will say 13, and then Moreno, that's 43 million, bro, in spend going down to zero. Like
yeah,
it's a lot of money. Like you do see sometimes why like we are in this situation as well with certain signings.
for sure, and definitely is the case in terms of that. Anyway, bro, I'm going to end it there. Thank you all for joining. Again, Leave your comments in the comment section regarding your thoughts on this transfer news as well. Like the video, subscribe if you're new, and we'll see you on the next video.